Everybody.
Good morning, everybody. Jeff Morrell here. Kathy Carter's up there. One of our other Freedom Team founders, Tim Holland, and good to see you, Tim. Coming back out of Memorial Day. Hope you guys had a good Memorial Day weekend. Safe and fun and everything else that needs to go on. Hope you had a little little downtime as well. I just got back from Indianapolis, went to the 500, which was a lot of fun. Got a lot of friends back there from Indy. So anyway, good to be back in the swing. Summer is kicking in high gear. So hopefully you guys are getting off to a great start with production and everything else going on here. Today's going to be good. So first of all, if you are a guest with us from another company outside of EXP, this is open to everybody. It's not an EXP exclusive event by any means. We open this up every Tuesday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. And just talking real estate, talking production, different topics. Next week, the first Tuesday of every month is just kind of an open forum. So I would encourage you guys to, be thinking through questions and, maybe concerns you have about a certain deal or questions about marketing or anything you want to bring to the table, bring it in here. We'll have a lot of agents on and we just kind of mastermind and free for all. Usually we have some sort of a topic that we land on. And today, Aileen Fountain out of Alabama is going to be leading the way here. So talking about client parties, summertime's a great time to do it. It is probably the best time you can do them any time of the year, but it is a great time to pull people together. And I know for myself, my wife and I, we've done this now 21 years. Every client event we've ever had, we've always come out of it with more business somehow, some way. It might be one deal, it might be 5 or 6 deals, whatever, but it does pull people together. Aileen's got a system that she uses that she's going to go through, and we'll open this up to questions along the way or at the very end of it. I'm going to let her take over and tell a little bit about yourself, Aileen. Go ahead and, give everybody an introduction to yourself as far as who you are and how long you've been in the business, all that kind of stuff. I know you're a big agent at EXP doing all kinds of stuff. So we appreciate you doing this. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. Aileen Fountain, been in the business 19 years. I might be started my 20th year. I'm not sure. But was long time, been in the Gulf Shores, Orange Beach market the entire time. Built my business really from the ground up, have created nothing but a repeat referral business, 100% repeat and referral. It takes time and effort, but it is absolutely a fantastic way to run your business where you're not just out trying to hustle new leads. Online leads all the time is exhausting. It's much better to have a repeat and referral business built up. I literally got a referral 5 minutes before we hopped on this Zoom. So, and exactly what Jeff said, you may get one deal, you may be able to quantify one deal from doing the party. You may be able to quantify 5 or 6 deals from doing the party, but it's also a compound effect. You're staying top of mind for quite a long time after you do one of these parties. So, so I built my business that way. I probably peaked in 2021. I took on one new client in 2021 and that was it. And everything else. And I don't think I've taken on, I think I'm working one new client right now. Andy and I are from our YouTube channel, and that's it. Everything else is repeat and referral. So I did about 30 million in 2021, single, all by myself. That was not any help with that volume. So this stuff works. And when I put my agenda up, you're going to see no matter where you are in your journey and where you are in your career, you can host one of these events and you can pull it off. So, I hope that for people who are newer or not seasoned, don't be afraid of doing one of these parties. And I am going to get to how you can pull that off. Okay. So I'm going to share my agenda with you guys so you can see what we're going to cover. I want to take this from A to Z. I want you to leave this class and go, I can pull off a client appreciation party. Aileen just told me exact steps to pull this off. I hate when you go to a class and they tell you, what to do, but they don't tell you how to do it. So, hey, build your business through client appreciation parties. All right, everybody have a good day. No, you need to know how to do it. And that's my goal for this class. I am going to share a 7-page PDF document with you guys with all the details of this agenda. So don't feel like you have to write every single thing down, because I am going to share that with you guys in the chat box. So I'll go ahead and share the agenda now so you can see what all we're going to cover. Can everybody see that?
We got it.
Okay. So I'm going to go over the initial steps, what you got to do from the get-go. We're going to talk about who all you're going to invite, and we're going to talk about the formula for getting those invitations out. We're going to talk about budget. That's obviously a huge one. We're going to talk about the post-party follow-up. I'm going to discuss how, as a new agent or a non-established agent, can pull one of these off. I'm going to tell you some other party ideas. You may not, everybody's in a different market, different circumstances. So I'm going to talk about some other party ideas. I'm going to show you guys a slideshow that's going to have my past parties. I'm going to give you some success stories from it. And then I'm going to share that 7-page document with you. So sound good?
Awesome.
Good.
All right. Okay. So first steps, right? How do you get this off the ground? Well, first I've always done a restaurant with music and food. So I provide the music, I provide the food. We'll have drink specials there, water and tea included, of course. And so the first step is you've got to find your venue. Well, I suggest a venue that could be an indoor-outdoor venue, something that you can move inside if it is going to rain. I made my very first one I did was a crawfish party at a dive bar in Orange Beach. And they had a really cool outside in the back. So I was like, this is going to be a cool vibe. I'm going to have music out here, crawfish party. Well, it was 100% chance of rain. So I had to move venues 24 hours before the party to a place that could accommodate indoor and accommodate music and accommodate crawfish. So it was a nightmare. So you do want to have that plan B for rain. So I never made that mistake again, and actually still had a phenomenal turnout at that first one to the crawfish party. It was a really great event. I'll show you guys some pictures. So first thing, you want to pick the venue. Then you want to get your menu. So whatever venue you start talking to, they're going to have somebody there that handles the event. So then you're going to talk to them about what kind of menus you can have and pricing. So, also you want to, I think, have live music. I think people are very drawn to live music. I think that changes the whole atmosphere of the party. So I pick a 1 or 2 person band because you don't want it to be so loud people can't have a conversation, but you also don't want people bored to death, and you want them engaged with the music. So I think that's a huge component to it. So
Aileen, real quick, are you showing a slideshow right now? Because we're not seeing that if you
No.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
I'll save that for then.
Gotcha. Okay.
If I was a little more advanced, I could do a slideshow and talk through.
No, I thought you had something on here. We're good. Okay, go
So I think the music's a huge component. I am lucky. I live in an area where we have a lot of musicians, so I have a lot to choose from. So that could be, that could change based on the area that you're in, but we have a lot of music to choose from here. So there's these 2 guys that play together, harmonize and just play low key, really cool music that everybody, like the kinds of songs that everybody loves. And so that's who I picked for my music. As far as the food goes, I did crawfish boil the first year, kept it super simple. Second year, I did a taco bar. And then the last 2 years, I've used the same venue, and it was fried shrimp, beef sliders, garden salad, bacon wrapped jalapeno peppers, French fries, hush puppies. And that actually came to $11 per person on the food cost. Okay, we'll talk more about the budget. Oh, and beef sliders. So I had garden salad, $2, fried shrimp, $3, beef sliders, $2, bacon wrapped jalapeno peppers, $2, French fries, $2, and hush puppies, $1. So my food cost was $11 per person. Once you've got your venue and your music and your food, then you can start really kind of putting the pieces together. So music cost. The first year I don't remember. I think the venue supplied the music because it was all done last minute. I switched venues. Second year, I paid the two guys $500. Third year, I paid them. I used the same musicians the next 3 years because everybody loved them. The third year was $600, and the fourth year was $700. So, so $700 for the music, and it was $11 per person on the food cost. As the party's going, you want to make sure to, when you go on break, you're going to get on stage, you're going to get in the mic, you're going to thank the clients, you're going to thank your sponsors. If you've got any door prizes, you're going to do door prizes at that time. I do, who came the farthest away, because most of my clients don't live here. Who came the farthest away? Who came the closest away? I actually had somebody who came, whose condo complex was in the parking lot behind the venue. So I was like, I think I know who came the closest. But you can do different things with the door prizes, and we'll get into sponsors in a minute. They'll actually help bring door prizes. Next thing, and this is really important, you got to pick the right date. I'm very conscious when I'm picking the date. First of all, I like the date to be in spring. Why? Because most people start thinking about buying and selling in the spring. But what have you done? You started touching them 6-7 weeks before your party date. So now you're top of mind even before spring hits. Spring hits, people start thinking about buying and selling. So who's top of mind? You are. And by the way, you're not hitting them up with anything other than you're trying to invite them to a party to show your appreciation for them. So so spring dates, I avoid Easter, I avoid Mother's Day, which is probably a little bit past spring, but I avoid local festivities. Down here in the spring, we've got the mullet toss. We have other big events that happen in the spring, concerts and whatnot. I avoid all that. And then I'm very strategic about picking a spring date that doesn't have anything else that's going to be pulling people in other directions. This is also, specific to your area. You can absolutely do a fall party. If you don't want to do spring, you can do a summer party. There's different times of the year do it. I like the spring for the reasons that I just mentioned. Okay, so let's move on to who to invite. Okay, so now you have figured out your venue, your music, and your date. So you're going to want to start working on this in January. Because your date's going to be, if you do it like me and you do a spring date, you're probably going to have an April date. So you got to have this well in advance, get past the new year and then start working on picking those three things: your date, your menu, and your venue and your music. So now you got to figure out, well, okay, who all am I going to invite? The obvious is your past and present clients, but what you might not think about is the fact that you need to invite all your vendors, friends and family, and everyone in your sphere. Because even if, I have a neighbor who comes to my parties, she's never done business with me, but she sends me referrals. So you definitely want to invite, a broad range of people, because it really doesn't matter. What you're trying to do is you're trying to build name recognition, you're trying to be top of mind, and you're trying to get, repeat and referral. So it's not just about your past clients. I've even had real estate agents, I'm on the phone with them about business and be like, hey, I heard you did a client appreciation party, so it sets you apart from everyone else. It also is going to really make you focus. If you do not have an up-to-date great database, it is really going to make you focus on that. And that is so important, because that is your lifeline to your business. So the first thing, we're going to talk about the formula. So that's who to invite. We're going to talk about the formula. So you're going to work on your database. Your database needs to be up to date. First thing you're going to do, 7 weeks in advance of your party, you're going to send out a snail mail invitation. And I'm going to show you an example of what one of my invitations look like. So that's going to go to everybody. And you don't have to send that to the vendors necessarily, but we'll talk about sponsors in a minute when we get further into the budgeting part of it. But obviously all of your past clients, Sphere, and people that you want to do business with. So all of them are going to get a snail mail invitation. You're going to do it 7 weeks in advance so that they are getting a save the date invitation from you 6 weeks prior to the party. Then you're going to wait from the 7 weeks. Then 2 weeks later, which will be 5 weeks before the party, you're going to send out a mass email. That mass email is going to be another save the date, and it's going to have in there, hey, if you didn't get a formal invitation, please let me know so I can check and make sure I sent it to the right address. This helps you make sure that you have their current mailing address. You also need to know if somebody in your database didn't get the invitation. Maybe you don't have them on your mailer list, but you have them on another list. That's where your list can get very challenging when you have them on one and not on the other. So it really helps you clean all that up. So after you do the email blast, then you're going to start asking for RSVPs. So you're going to wait another 2 weeks. So now you're 3 weeks before the party. Now you're going to start asking for RSVPs. 1 to 2 weeks from the party. And you'll start getting RSVPs. Now, a lot of people don't RSVP till closer to the party. But if you're using MailChimp or Constant Contact, you can see who's opening them. And that's really important too, because some of them could be ending up in spam, which is why it's important to do the snail mail formal invitation. 1 to 2 weeks before the party. And I use the Reach app, and I put every client and vendor in my Reach app. I have a database for my clients. I have a database for my vendors. You should also have a database for your friends, family, and Sphere. So 1 to 2 weeks from that, I send out a text message asking for RSVPs if they haven't RSVP'd already. If they have, I've got a running list of my RSVPs. So text everyone who has not RSVP'd and ask them, say, hey, I just want to make sure you got the invite. I'm really looking forward to the party. Hope you can make it. And they'll respond. They're going to respond to your text message if they haven't via email. So now you're 1 week prior to the party, you should have your RSVP list. At that point, you can get back to the venue with your food count, with your head count. You're also going to have some maybes. You know, you're going to want to reach out to them via text message too. They may have emailed you that they're a maybe. 1 week before the party, you want to reach back out to them as well on the text message. I use the Reach app. It's so much easier to use. If you don't know that app, just download it. It's pretty easy to use. The day before, 24 to 48 hours before the party, everyone who's RSVP'd and everyone who's a maybe, you're going to send them a message that says, hey, really looking forward to seeing you at the party. And what you want to do there is, because when you do that, number one, sometimes people RSVP and forget. Sometimes their plans change last minute and they're no longer coming. This will allow you to really firm up your head count. On the day of the party, I can tell you without a doubt, you will have a few people that didn't RSVP that show up, and you will have people who RSVP that don't come. They'll cancel each other out. So don't worry about that. So to give you an idea of the amount of people that can come based on your database. So I've got about 275 people in my database. The first 3 parties I did all had in the 70s show up. So about 70 something people. This last one I had was actually my lowest turnout, and I had in the 50s show up. Now that includes sponsors, kids, vendors, the whole nine. So Any questions so far before I move on to budget?
Anybody?
Okay, so budget is a huge part of this, right? So you know what your head count's going to be, cost per food. You know what your music cost is going to be. I also take into account when you're working on your database, all your vendors, we'll talk about sponsors in a minute, and then all your clients. So what I do is I would say to plan on 25% of the people that you invite to come. That's been about what I've averaged. So now you take that 25% and you know what your food cost is. Mine was $11 per person. So I'm just going to use an easy number of 50 people. So, you know, that's actually, I'm going to do this 70 because that's how many normally come. So 11 people at $770. Add tax and gratuity to that, and then add your music cost to that. And that's your budget. You really do need to be working on sponsors though prior to knowing all of this information. So, you know, it's not an exact science, the first one, but you will go ahead and reach out to your sponsors, you know, home inspector, rental companies, title companies, pest control, lender, furniture company, handyman, anyone that you do business with. I keep my ask really low so that they won't say no. So I'll give you an example. Here was my sponsor list this year. I had my favorite lender that I send the majority of the business to. She did 300. Home inspector, I did 200. Title company, I did 200. My rental property manager that I send business to, I did 200. A furniture company that I send a lot of business to, because down here it's second home property, so people are furnishing their units or they're getting updates. I did 300 with her. My handyman company, I did 250 with him, and then my termite company did 300 plus door prizes. So all in all, that totaled to $1,750. So that paid for my party. A couple other things to note, you know, when you're at the party, some of the things that you need to be thinking about. Obviously, you're the host, so you're talking to everybody there. It would be very beneficial to have a secondary person there taking pictures and doing the video. I didn't have that every year, and so my pictures and videos for my promotional part of it afterward could have been better. So I would really have somebody there. I don't know if it's a spouse, if it's anybody. You can invite another coworker, but somebody there that's going to take the pictures and the video. So you have all that, and then you can focus on talking to everybody at the party. I had already mentioned the band will go on break. They'll probably sit and eat some of the food. You'll get up on stage. You'll thank everybody. You'll call out all your sponsors, and you'll do any door prizes at that time. What you want to do, so let's move on to post party and the follow-up formula. After the party, you're going to do another email blast. You're going to thank everyone who came, and you're going to include pictures in that email blast. That again is another, for everybody who didn't come, you stay top of mind. For everybody who came, of course, you're top of mind. You're top of mind for months now. Point out door prize winners. What were the door prizes? Who won? Congratulations to the door prize winners. Then you're going to send a thank you card to everyone that came. And also, you are going to send a "we missed you" card. Once again, you are hitting everyone in your database. You are not asking them to buy anything. You are not asking them to sell anything. You are thanking them for coming or letting them know that you missed them at the party. So this formula that I've given you guys, it touches your database, vendors, sphere of influence, family and friends, 7 times in a 7-week time frame. So I'm going to break the formula down one more time for you guys. 7 weeks prior to the date of your party, I use Shutterfly. I have all my addresses loaded in Shutterfly. I will tell you that is a extra expense. That is expensive. I actually did not do a snail mail mailing this year for that very reason. And I had the lowest attendance that I've ever had. Now, is that really the reason why? Probably not. But I just wanted to save on that cost because it was so much. Now, my first couple years I did it, I went and I'll show you guys this. I went and had these printed off at a local print company. And then I hand mailed them all myself. And by myself, I mean my assistant. So that will save you, if you are, worried about money, that will save you a lot of money doing it yourself that way, but not time. If you're seasoned and you want to save time, go into Shutterfly or whatever card stock place you want to use, load all your addresses in there and let them send them out. So 7 weeks prior, snail mail, save the date, invitation. That should arrive to them 6 weeks before the party. 5 weeks prior to the date, you're going to send an email blast, making sure they receive the invitation and they have the save the date in the email. I'll show you guys an example of my email blast as well. 3 weeks from the party, you're going to send another email blast and start asking for RSVPs. 2 weeks before the party, you're going to send a text to every single person in your database, letting them know, hey, I want to make sure you got my party invite. Let me know if you can make it. Would love to see you. However you want the text to be, just very simple, to the point. 1 week before the party, you're going to hit up anyone who has not RSVP'd. 24 to 48 hours before the party, you are going to hit up everyone who has RSVP'd. And you're going to let them know that you're very excited to see them at the party. Most will write back, we're really looking forward to it. Some will write back and say something came up, we can't come. That's great. All you're doing is firming up your head count. At the end of your response from the text message, you'll have your firm head count. You'll send it to the venue. Of course, you'll have about a week ahead of time, you'll have a very close number of your RSVPs that you will send to the venue. Say, hey, I'm looking at around 70 people. I'll firm up with you in a week. Okay, now I've got 75 confirmed. So like I said, you'll have a couple show up that didn't RSVP. You'll have a couple that RSVP that didn't come. So don't worry about that part. So this one event that you put on is going to keep you top of mind at least 6 months, could be longer. Other things that you can do to stay top of mind in addition to the party, send 4th of July cards, send a Halloween card. Nobody does that. Everybody sends a holiday card. So send a 4th of July patriotic themed card, send a Halloween card. That's going to help keep you top of mind after the party. If anybody in here's in a sports area, like down here, like I've always wanted to do a football themed party. Haven't done that yet. I'm going to move on. If there's not any questions, I'm going to move on to new agents or agents that don't have a fully built out database yet. Is that good?
Does anybody have any questions or comments on what she said? Aileen, I love the fact that the follow-up afterwards
is money.
I thought that was really good. Having those pictures, sending out, again, like an email out to everybody with the pictures and here's the list of winners and, whatever, a thank you card to those who came. We missed you card to those who didn't come. That's something, I don't know. We've done client events. That's something we haven't done. Like, that's awesome right there.
And one thing I left out is that when you have all the pictures and video, you're going to post that to every social media thing that you have. And you're going to thank all your sponsors, and you're going to thank all your clients that came. And that too is going to be another promotional thing that is going to hit people who may not even be in your database or your sphere. And it totally sets you apart from everyone else, because nobody does these. I mean, I can tell you one other agent that I know of in my market that does them, and that's 3,000 agents. Now, not saying there aren't more, but you set yourself so far apart from everyone else by doing this. And I'm telling you how to do it without spending any money. You know, so I mean, and even if you have to come out of pocket $200 or $300, you want to talk about, there is no better ad spend that you could spend for $200 or $300 that's going to get the results that this party is going to get for you.
I have a question. What do you give your vendors, that's your sponsors? Do you let them just get up and introduce themselves, or do they get that money?
What I do, and I'm going to show you guys this, I'll have a sheet at the party. I have a sign-in sheet, and then I have a sheet like printed out flyers with all the sponsors' names on it. And then on, sometimes on the back of it, I'll put like all my local clients that own businesses, so I can promote their businesses as well at the party. So I've got like the 5 or 6 sponsors, like big bold on one page. On the back page, it'll be like a list of all the vendors that I do business with, a list of my clients' businesses, so I can promote them too. And I make sure that everybody who signs in gets one of those flyers. And then when I get on stage, as soon as you, obviously, first and foremost, you thank your clients. And then right after that, you go in and you thank your sponsors. I'll sometimes even tell a little story about them, what a great job they do, why I use them, how fantastic they are. And then when I do my social media blast, I tag each one of their businesses, and I say, I really want to thank the sponsors who helped put this party on, and I tag each one of their businesses. So I give them a lot of promotional that way too. And you also got to think, I mean, if you've got discounting yourself, kids, and the sponsors and vendors, well, even other vendors, doesn't matter. You got 50 or 60 people there. That's a lot of promotion in one day anyway. But you're also going to follow it up with the social media aspect.
Putting it out to everybody. I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah. And what this really does, guys, is you would be shocked at how it gets your brain to think about more people you can invite. I mean, when you first do it, my first one, actually every single one I've ever done, I'm petrified that nobody's going to come. I mean, you're just absolutely like, oh my God, I'm going to throw this party. I'm going to look like the biggest idiot when 5 people show up, and you're terrified. But what you'll find is that people do come, and it, and it turns out to be great. But you do have to do this formula. You do have to plan way in advance, and you do have to make sure that you execute your plan. You can't just say, oh, everybody, I'm having a party, and you put it on social media and expect people to come. I mean, you have to work to get those RSVPs. But what you'll find is that people come, and they want to come, and they have a good time, and you will have a successful party. And what you will also learn is that it gets your brain, you are going to think about people that you never thought you would think about to invite the party. And what did you do in that time frame? You grew your database, because you were thinking about people that you wouldn't have been thinking about. You're like, I want to invite so-and-so. I want to invite so-and-so. I even invite like some family members that are also realtors. I invited, other EXP real estate agents. I mean, I didn't care. Like, I'm like, let's come to the party. Everybody that you're doing business with, it can be people that you've never done business with, but you would love to do business with them. What is wrong with inviting them to your party? I mean, there's some people, like, I know, I'm like, hey, I know you're not a client, but I really wanted to invite you to my party that I'm having. And they're like, what are they going to say? They say, thank you. I mean, it's a great way to engage people. It's a great way to have your name out there. It's a great way to show everybody how professional you are. how you care about your clients. So, I mean, I do, unless there's some other questions, I'm gonna move on. I want to talk really this next section, talk to the newer agents and the agents who aren't super established, because I want to share with you how you can pull this off and grow your business.
Real quick, and you may have said this and I may have missed it. How many do you typically invite? I know you said the turn up ratio is about 25%, but how many are you inviting? Maybe even the first time versus the fourth time. You probably have grown over the years, I would imagine. But
yes.
Maybe what did you start out with on your first party inviting, and then did it grow over the last 4 years? And is it a bigger number now?
Absolutely, it grows, because your business should grow every year. And you also got to understand that the first one I did, I was at 2018, because I did 4. I couldn't do 2020 COVID year, and I didn't do 2021 because of COVID. So those 2 years there in between. But so my business has definitely grown from 2018. And the first couple that I did, again, I invited anybody. You could have been a past client. You could have been the guy who cuts my grass. You could have been my father-in-law, my sister-in-law, my nephew. I mean, I invited everybody.
So was it like 100, 200? Like, how big was your list? That's what I was trying to figure out.
And so I would say it was still in the 200s when you count vendors, sphere, past clients, current clients, anyone I wanted to do business with. And now I would say it's probably closer to 300.
Mm-hmm.
If that helps.
Yeah.
I think that just gives everyone a perspective, of, like you said, if 25% show up, so if you're inviting 100, you're going to get about 25 people, right? Approximately. So
absolutely. And that's why I really did want everybody. And I did mention the 275 earlier, but Kathy kind of honed in on a little bit more of the question, which is, where was I at the beginning versus where I am now? And if you don't have a database of 200 to 300 people, this is where this next section of my agenda is going to speak to. I'm going to tell you why that doesn't matter. So if you are a new agent or you're not established yet, and you don't have a big enough database to where you feel like you can throw a party, I want you to think again. I want you to think about this. Is there a seasoned agent in your market that you could co-host with? Is there somebody in your upline or downline that you could co-host with? If you're super new and you can't find a seasoned agent, why not co-host with 2 other agents who are also newer or not seasoned? If you can get 1 or 2 agents with you and you guys combined can get a 200-person database, then you've got a party. And no one knows. I mean, I opened this up to my downline here locally. 2 years ago, I co-hosted it with Ashley, which I'll show you a picture. And last year, I co-hosted it with Nancy. They didn't, and guess what? They didn't have to bring $1 to the table. All I had them do was they each went and brought 2 sponsors to the table. And so I said, that's it. That's all you got to do. Now invite everyone, because I knew they weren't going to have, I knew that there are people that were going to show, because their database wasn't as big, wasn't going to exceed the food cost of what their sponsors brought in. So they joined me for no dollars. So if you are a new agent and you wanted to get up with a seasoned agent or 2 other agents that are trying to grow their business, you guys can get together, be the person that initiates everything, that instigates everything. Say, guys, I'm going to do the legwork. I'm going to go out and get the venue. I'm going to secure the music. I'm going to help get the menu unless you want to be a part of that. All you need to do is say that you'll join me with this. All I need you to do is help get me some help. Let's work together to get some sponsors. And from there, we're going to invite everybody we know. And together, we're going to get people to this party. And then when you're doing your pictures and your video and you're thanking your sponsors, no one knows that you co-hosted it with anyone else. I mean, you can put in there, thanks to my co-host, But that's not what people see. People see that you hosted a party and you had all these people at your party. That's what they see. And then when you follow up with your email, with your pictures, with your thank you cards, all they know is that you threw this badass party for everybody. You know, they're not going to ask you, well, how many people came? Or that, I mean, that none of that matters. So, do not be discouraged if you're not there yet. And think of how much your database is going to grow after this one party. And you're going to put a lot of effort into this for a couple months. But wouldn't you rather put a lot of effort into a couple months with a very low upfront cost and grow your database, however much you're going to grow it, 30%, 40%, 50% in this one event? And what is that going to do for you in repeat and referral business? Sometimes, like Jeff said, I mean, I'm going to tell you guys when we get to the slideshow, I'm going to tell you guys some success stories that I've had from this. And I tell people all the time to do them. So few people will actually do it. You know, and some other things as a new agent, you know, I touched on family, friends, neighbors, friends, people that your kids play sports with. Everybody that you come into contact with should be invited to this party. And you can say, hey, I know you're not a client, but I wanted to invite you to my client appreciation party. You know, I just said, and come right out and say, I'm inviting friends, you know, so would love for you to come. Is it okay if I send you an invitation? Who is going to say no to that? Also include in this local business owners, anyone that you do business with, anyone that you want to do business with in the future, even if they never use you, even if they don't come, your relationship with them is going to be better because you gave them some value. So next time you call them for something, or next time you need something, they're going to think of you differently. Next time you pick up the phone and you need your HVAC guy to go check out something for your client, they're going to answer your call because you invited them to a party and you told them that they matter to you. So, biggest thing is in a few months, what you can do as a new agent or an agent who's growing your business, in a few short months, you can establish professionalism, credibility, and grow your database by doing this. Some other ideas that you guys can have. I mean, everybody's in a different market. You could rent out a bowling alley, an arcade, a bowling alley and an arcade jointly. You know your client database or your sphere better than I do. If you've got a lot of families, a lot of kids, that may be more appropriate. I have definitely have families in my database, but I also have a lot of people that have second homes and investment properties. So they want to go listen to music and drink alcohol. So I have a restaurant with the food, and then we'll always do drink specials at the venue. It's $4 draft beers, $5 margaritas. At some point in time, I probably will do an alcohol included party. I haven't gotten there yet. And it hasn't seemed to matter. Maybe I do one and 100 people show up. I don't know. You could do a park with kids, blow up water slides, do a big grill out, an outdoor movie night with a food truck, pizza, football, other big sports types. You could get one of those blow up TVs, have a football game, have some kind of sporting event, you know, host a neighborhood block party. You know, do you want to be the go-to realtor in your neighborhood? Host a block party. Now you're top of mind with everybody. And you never asked anybody to buy or sell anything from you. You just hosted a big neighborhood party. But by the way, of course, you're now in their database and you're a real estate agent. That's obvious. So another idea is a Thanksgiving. You can give away pies for Thanksgiving. Hit everyone up in your database. Give them 2 pie options. Tell them all you got to do to get a free pie is write back and tell me you want a free pie. Then the Tuesday or Wednesday before Thanksgiving, pick out a designated place for them to come pick their pie up. If you're a newer agent and you don't have a lot, or you really want to hustle and be different, deliver the pie to them. You can really step up your game by doing that. You want to impress somebody and you want to be top of mind, show up before Thanksgiving with a free pie for their Thanksgiving meal. So I'm going to share my screen and show you guys so you can have a visual of what I have done with these parties. And don't let me forget, I will share the 7-page document with everybody too, with all the details. Can you guys see this?
Yeah. Okay.
So this was my very first one where I just designed the card myself, printed it out, and snail mailed it. My assistants helped me. We snail mailed it out to everybody. Certainly much lower cost as far as getting those out. And I didn't do any sponsors my first 2 years, and that was a mistake. But I also was terrified nobody was going to show up and I was going to look like an idiot. So my business was doing pretty well, so I just went and paid for it myself. Here's a picture of the crawfish table. This is my very first party. Look at the turnout. No, that was a different party. Sorry. I couldn't get them to come. I couldn't get my pictures to go in order, which was very annoying. So, this is a family that's come to every one of my parties except for this last one because her father passed away and they had a funeral to go to. That little boy in that picture, you'll see him in pictures as he gets older, in each one. This was the very first party. You can see the turnout. Great turnout.
Good.
My venue for the last 2 parties is here. You can see I had the buffet out with the different items, I had the bar. It was the best of both worlds because everything was kind of open and airy, but if it rained, I was covered. And that's one reason why I picked this venue the last 2 years in a row. These are vendors and clients here. There's my board out front. Here's a little video I'll play for you guys.
Angel, what would you like to say? Thank you so much, Aileen, for always being so fabulous. And putting up with me, of course. Hey, that goes both ways. Steve, long hair, don't care. Thanks for coming.
It's great to be here today. Thank you so much for the invitation.
And what's the name?
Hollard, I think.
Hollard Band? Word. Hey,
Next Saturday night.
don't worry, that's another YouTube special that I'll do. On the Hollard Band. My all. Thank you for coming.
I was going to ask you, the live band is there. You have the live band going.
Can you hear it? Can everybody hear it?
We can hear you when you're talking to people. Yeah. Good.
So success story, these 2 ladies, hardly knew them before last year. One of them is my property manager. The other one, local business owner who furnished my condo for me when we bought our investment property. And now they're like best friends. Now they're sponsors of the party. Now we refer business back and forth to one another. And we are 3 strong female business owners in the area that just like mindset, same hustle, same grind, same drive. And they're just like, last year I just invited them. I didn't really know them that well. And the next year they're sponsoring. So that's how the relationships can grow. And I mean, and these ladies are like, man, we don't know anybody who does anything like this. There's one of my best friend's daughters. This was the second party I did. This is the taco bar.
Nice location right there in the water. Very cool.
That's the benefit of doing beach stuff. You have to do the mountain views, Jeff.
Yeah. Not much water right here where I'm at. No, that's awesome. For the new agents, any new agents that are on, I think, because I think one of the things that stops people is like the cost, thinking I can't afford to do something like this. But again, you get the sponsors to help with that. Riley, you said your sponsors. Go ahead.
And that's the thing. That's why you got to, if you're new, you got to co-host it with somebody.
Partner up with somebody.
Partner up. Either co-host it with somebody who's seasoned that has these relationships with sponsors already that are going to tell them yes, or get 2 or 3 agents that y'all can pull your resources together. This guy right here, I didn't know him before my first party. I had to change venues the night before because the 100% rain, and I had planned for an outdoor venue. I call one of my clients up, who's also a local business owner. I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do. She's like, don't worry, Aileen, I know the owner to this restaurant that just opened up. I got you. Then that owner brought the crawfish guy in. This guy then became a client, y'all. The guy in the picture who did the crawfish, he's Cajun, he's from Louisiana. He drove over to Lafayette, Louisiana, picked up the crawfish, brought it back and cooked all the crawfish and became a client. So the relationships that you can build, I mean, this is just my sister and brother-in-law and nephew. I mean, came out to support me. They're not going to buy and sell real estate from me. I don't care. These clients here become really good friends. They bought and sold a bunch with me. I've given out party gifts in the past. These were some candles that I had made with my team logo on it. These clients here have been to a bunch of my parties. She's referring me. Her neighbor wants to list. She's referring them to me, and then they want to list and buy. That all just transpired in the post this last party. This is the little boy I was telling you about that's been at every one of my parties.
Growing up. Very cool.
So, yeah. Lots and lots. This is a local realtor I invited last year who came out to support me. This was my co-host this year, Nancy. This is my neighbor who's never bought or sold a piece of real estate with me, but she sends me referrals. And in fact, one of the clients that was there was a referral that she had sent me that I had closed. They had never met in person. I connected the 2 of them. And then that person now has listed her condo and has another condo under contract. So, I mean, there's like 6 deals came from just this last party alone.
For the new agents, Aileen, the one thing that comes to my mind, if you don't have a big enough database to go do your party, then just do a neighborhood party. And you kind of mentioned you could do a neighborhood party a minute ago, but that is a good way to start building your database also and becoming, the local known realtor in your area. So I would say even if you don't have somebody to co-host it with, just do something in your neighborhood and then follow her system, inviting all those people starting, several weeks out, right? Do a snail mail and all the things that she talked about. And I think you could have a huge turnout for that, especially if you have a big common area with you can have a bounce house or a couple of different things. And, and then even as a new agent, you may not have the relationships yet with the, with sponsors, but every vendor, your inspectors, your lenders, your title companies, your insurance people, all those people are looking to connect with agents all day, every day. So if you're a new realtor and you just call in and introduce yourself and, go grab coffee with them and tell them you're looking to build a relationships and, you're going to host this party and would they be interested in partnering with you? I guarantee, even if you haven't started business with them yet, they will, 9 out of 10 of them will be ready to help you financially do that. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I was saying, like, go utilize your upline, your downline, seasoned agents that you've got any kind of relationship with, and tell them, I'll do the majority of the legwork. I'll do all these things and tee it up for us. I just need help with, sponsorships and this and that, like that, things that you have the connections for. Or go out and get two other agents that are up and coming like you, and the 3 of you go out and each get 2 sponsors apiece. The important thing is that you actually do it. Go out and do one. Don't be afraid of the failure. They'll get better and better every year. You'll grow your database every year from it, and you will think about people that you never would have initially thought about to put in your database, and only for the fact that you want to invite them to a party. And
one thing that
you'll end up getting a referral.
One of the things that I've never thought of that I loved what you did and what you said is having your client businesses marketed at the party, having a flyer for that. I love that, because not only are you getting the benefit of them enjoying your party, now here Aileen is promoting my business to all of her people. Like, that's just a double whammy, a double benefit, to all your people. I love that idea. And, one thing that I'll share real quick, that I did, one of my very first client events, it was cheesy, but I loved it. So I did it. But it was just a Love You a Latte party. So I partnered with a coffee house, right? And sent out these, We Love You a Latte. Come join us, free coffee on us. And so we had some people show up for that. Like I said, I partnered with the local coffee house. So it wasn't near
That's a great idea.
event as a big full-blown event. And I had 2 past clients come. I mean, I had several come, but 2 past clients ended up, selling their house off of the event. To your point, you're going to get business, but that's a way to start smaller, some idea like that.
And say you're a new agent and you want to go to a local business owner that you've done business with in the past, you like their product or you like whatever their service or whatever, and say, hey, I'm sure you have a real estate agent, but I love doing business with you. I think you offer a great service, great price. I've always had nothing but a positive experience from you. Can I promote you at my client appreciation party and invite you to it? They're gonna say yes. So you may not ever get a piece of business from that, but you added them to your database and you invited them to your party, and maybe something comes from it, maybe it doesn't, but you do that enough times and you're going to find some great experiences from that.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick, Aileen, can you go ahead and attach that file down here in the chat?
Thank you. I had a feeling I'd forget.
That's okay. Do that real quick. And then, and also guys, this file, we will put it in the comments in the YouTube video. We'll upload this. We'll also have it in the workplace group, so everybody will have access to this, but she's going to attach a file here in the chat and you can get on here and should be able to get access to that file as well. India, can you unmute yourself for just a second? Great to have you on here.
Oh yeah, there I am.
Good morning. How are you? How are you
Good
down there in
morning.
Texas?
How are you? Thank you, Miss Aileen. This is fabulous.
Great.
Does it give you some good ideas? I know you're getting things going in your business and
absolutely.
stuff.
Yes, yes. I am a new-ish, and yes, I have tremendous ideas from what you have spoken about this morning. I've taken copious notes, and this is awesome. I think appreciation. Everybody wants to know that they've been appreciated. So I think this is win-win-win, as Dr. Covey always said.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you.
Awesome.
I'm glad you got some value out of it.
Absolutely. Tremendous value.
Good stuff, guys. Every time we do it, we've picked up some business, and it might not be right now immediate, but 2 months from now, all of a sudden we get a call and it was somebody that was at this party or whatever. And we're doing, again, not to get off topic, and because we're going to wrap this up, but we're doing housewarming parties for clients. My wife, I was gone this weekend, but my wife just did one this last weekend for some clients of ours. They bought a house a couple of months ago. Here's what's cool about that. We got their list of people they wanted to invite with their addresses. So we send out the invites, but now we got 28 more addresses that go into our database that we can now start marketing to. We sent them a flyer with kind of information on us, but then an invite to the party, the housewarming thing, and the food, all this stuff. We provided the food. We had a lender come in that helps to pay for it. It's very minimal cost. And here's 2-3 hours where you're hanging out with all of these people's friends, and they're introducing they're introducing you to them, and their friends and that kind of stuff. Oh my gosh, they were great. And my wife, Lane did awesome. She helped us with this, and this, and whatever. And I know there was a neighbor next door, I guess, or somewhere down the street that, possibly going to sell, whatever. She's going to go meet with them. There was some other people there, young family with kids who are looking to do something possibly here in the next couple of months. So, again, it will always lead to things, when you do this kind of stuff. But then to pull it all together once a year for a bigger event like what Aileen just shared with us, there's just a lot of power in that. So,
well, and the other thing, that I think, like, we're in the relationship business.
Yeah.
And this is the ideal way to continue relationships. What are the NAR stats? Like, 85% of the people said that they would do the business with their past realtor, but yet it's only like 20% that do. I don't know the exact numbers, but it's something along those lines. And why is that? Because we get out of touch with our people. So doing these events, not only is it continuing the relationship building, right, but it's staying in front of them and staying top of mind and all of those things. With everything going AI these days and on and on and on, and, we're already all over, we're doing social media, like, people are starving for relationships. So I think more than ever, doing these things are important.
If you'll build a business that has the mindset of repeat and referral business, it will take time, but when you build it, you will never work for business again.
Yeah.
And if you're in the business for the long haul, this is the way to do it.
Yeah.
Build a business. It's all about repeat and referral mindset.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, good stuff. Aileen, thank you so much. Appreciate you sharing everything. Great content. Let's see. Did we get that file?
Did it come through to everybody?
In the chat? I don't see it.
I don't see it. Do me a favor, Aileen. It's fine. Go ahead and send it.
I know what happened. I didn't send it to everyone in the meeting. All right. Let me reattach it.
Oh,
Okay.
she's picking favorites. I see. And you and I weren't on that list, Jeff.
Yeah, I didn't get it. Thanks, Aileen. So
Or if you
we
just
will have it
send to
uploaded.
Jeff, then we'll get it in
If
the
it's
workplace.
there now, guys.
There you go. Very cool. So right there, guys, if you go to the chat, you can click on that, and there's a PDF file right there. Okay. So go ahead and do that. And then I will have that as well. I'll upload it into, the comments in Workplace, and I'll put it in the YouTube comments as well, or in the description, whatever, so you guys can get it there too. But, we'll be back next week, same time next week, first Tuesday of the month. So it's just an open forum. Bring anything and everything real estate related. We'll get your questions answered. Other people chime in. We'll just mastermind, a true mastermind. Everybody working together and solving each other's challenges and questions and problems and all that stuff. So anyway, lots of stuff coming up here for the month of June. We're in summertime. It's going to be big. So guys, thank you very much. We appreciate being on here. We will see you soon. The recording will be uploaded here in the next couple hours. Okay. Have
Thanks,
a great day. Have a great
Aileen.
week. Thank you, guys.
Have a great week, everybody. Good stuff, Aileen.